Good day, everyone listening and watching me from wherever in the world you are seeing this. My name is Dr. Bioye Mumeen. I, I like to be here today just to also add my perspective to the raging issue that has just bedeviled our community in Ilorin, a very great community, one of the best when you talk about diversified and, of course, again, unified community in Nigeria. This place was founded years ago on the basis of not only spirituality, but on the basis of morality. We were told that the founding fathers of our community founded this place on the principle of equity, justice, and moral greatness. And that's why in those days, when you walk up to anywhere in the world, the moment you see an Ilorin person, you see an embodiment of knowledge, you see an embodiment of high moral compacts, you see somebody who represents Islamic spirituality and, of course, religiosity. But unfortunately, this issue that is affecting virtually everywhere in the world because of the 21st century peculiarity, which is bringing down the moral compacts, has found its way into our community. Of recent, you guys will be aware of the unfortunate story, the issues around spiritual killing, ritual killing, and whatever. As condemnable as it is, some of us felt the responsibility to come up to say something about it, to carve a new. We're not here to blame anybody. We're not here to cast aspersion to say that this is somebody is responsible for this. What I do know as a development expert is it just shows that our community is also not immune from the moral decadence that is happening. And of course, one thing we must tap is this is happening because of the value disorientation that has happened everywhere in Nigeria, not only in Nigeria, even in some part of African countries and even in some part of the world. We see a situation whereby the only value that matters to people now is money. People, gone were the days when being intelligent used to be a very great value. Being brilliant, those days when we have what's called speech and prize giving days in secondary school. I wonder if they are even still doing that in any part of this country again, wherein they reward the best of students in various languages, various subjects, just to encourage them, just to tell them that this is the way to go. But unfortunately, those days too, we have a situation whereby honesty used to be a value, integrity used to be a value, even handsomeness and being beautiful used to be values that people can move close to you just because of one or two of those values. But unfortunately, the only value that has been so amplified in the world, especially in Nigeria, in Africa now, is the value of being worthy without even showing working. People just get money, people just come home with money without even showing working, any professionalism how they have gotten, and society begins to recognize and, of course, honor them. And I think that is why the people in the other part of our professionalism, especially people in the Arabic and Islamic learning or professionalism, also felt there's a need for them to get into this world of recognition. And how can they do it? When we all know that the kind of education that is being offered in this country is usually kind of has been tailored towards Western education, whereby you get certified for, let's say, degree, ND, HND, you could get placement. Or have we asked ourselves, what is the fate of some of these guys who go to this madrasa, Islamic education institute and all that? They come up with what is called Sanawi, Idadi, and all that. Do we have placement for them anywhere? And because of, like I said in my background, while laying the thematic framework of this conversation this day, I said that society is recognizing only money. So if somebody in the civil service, somebody who has gone to the university or who is a professional in one field or the other could get money from that way, where do you want these guys to get money? They also want to be recognized, because that's the only, those days, if you're an afar, you're an ustaz, automatically the society respects you because they see you as an embodiment of knowledge, somebody who will tell them how to worship their God, somebody who will tell them how to preserve themselves, how to become better version of themselves that will be appreciated here and in the hereafter. But unfortunately, those things have disappeared. Society no longer worships, society no longer recognizes those things. The only thing value that everybody wants to reckon with is money, and these guys also want to get their own money. So they have been left in the cold, and without making excuses, I think perhaps that is why some of them just felt they need to go into this unfortunate world of what is called jalabi. And mind you, let me say this: there's no work as the work of a far or the work of a pastor. Like we do say that there's no work of a politician I frown at somebody calling himself, what do you do? And I ask somebody what you do, and you say, I'm an afa. I mean, such a person should, without being violent, such a person should be looked at with the wrongest of eyes. You understand? There's no work like that, because even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we're told, was working before the message came, before he became a prophet. He was a shepherd. He was said to have been working with his first wife, Nana Khadijat, alayhi salam. So he wasn't to do it. So that's to tell you that our religion, the religion of peace, Islam, encourages productivity. It encourages people to have high productivity index. So I don't know where people will just graduate from one of these madrasas, one of these Islamic institutions, and feel the only work I can do is to just become an afa. We must say that emphatically, that there is no profession as the profession of an afa. It's usually a second kind of address. You can be a chief imam somewhere, but you must have a job you are doing, because in fact, it was established for the Christian, for our brothers and sisters in the Christian, in the religion of Christianity. It was said that Jesus Christ was a shepherd. So where do people get the idea of my job is a pastor? There's no job like that. Just the same, it's as crazy as the way somebody will call himself or identify himself as a politician. There's no job as the job of a politician. You probably will be a doctor, an entrepreneur, a businessman. I mean, whatever it is, must have a second address. And that's where we get it wrong. People just get into this profession and say, oh, I'm a politician. No. So we must lay that background that there's no work. So having said that, if somebody is coming out from this Islamic institution and knows that there is no job or profession as profession of afar, then I think they will be encouraged to do something else. So now let us look at some of the options that are open for somebody who do this. I'm going to start with my bias. Mind you, I'm an agricultural research scientist with the nation's foremost research institution, and I like doing it. And I must say that I'm also a farmer. You see, in the Holy Quran, uh, Surah to Mulk, verse 15. For our time, I wouldn't want to start quoting verbatim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala admonished us that we should go out there and look for ways that He has created the earth for us. He has fertilized, furnished it, and arranged it for us in such a way that we can benefit from this arrangement. So how have we lost it? I think if you graduate from some of these schools, you can take up a profession as a farmer. Create value chains through which you could feed people. I can tell you for free that if you are a farmer in any of the agricultural value chain, whether crop, animal husbandry, livestock, whatever, you stand the chance to be as recognized as those wealthy people you want to be recognized as, because you have an opportunity of feeding the whole community, feeding the whole society. One area that must continue to sell is the area of agricultural value chain. So the earlier people key into it, the better. And if you are an afar, if you are somebody who is vast in Quran, you know how to pray to God, how to even make your own plantation, your own agricultural enterprise to be better. So I think that's one area. They could also take up further education. I've seen somebody who graduated from some of these Islamic institutions and still decided to go to school, because we are in Nigeria, a secular society where Western education has been established as our route through getting gainful employment or some sort of. So if they want to do that, they have to probably go to school, get back. With this, some of these, they are Sanawi, Daddy. You could get admission, go to the university, study some of these professional. I mean, how about going into IT? How about going into other sectors? How about going into entrepreneurship? So these are the areas. But the key takeaway here is it is condemnable for people to think that the only value in society that matters is money. And if we want to continue to do that, it's not until you take the job of an afar, because there's no job like that. There's no profession as that of pastor. There's no profession as that of a politician. So everybody should look for ways to be productive. And in key takeaway, entrepreneurship, farming, these are the areas where you can make it. If you don't want to be correct, people don't even make money from paid job. If you want to be worthy, you have to go into business, entrepreneurship, or basically just agricultural value chain. So I think when we get it to this point, we should be able to get back to that our society that is known for productivity, that is known for knowledge, that is known for spiritual upgrading, and of course, high moral compacts. Thank you very much for taking a listen. I think sometimes we'll have opportunity of talking more on this contest. Iloni Onibaje.